Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I have an update today on one of the earlier episodes that I've done from last weekend where I decided to do these weekly updates on what has changed on AWS. If you haven't checked out that episode, you can check it out up here where I started off talking about why it's really important to stay up to date with what AWS is releasing and why it's important to be familiar with the new features and new services in order to be an effective AWS architect. Now, since then, I've come to learn that there is an available AWS podcast, the official AWS podcast done by AWS, where they already cover the updates on what has changed. Granted, they do it on bi-weekly basis. I was gonna do it every weekend, but since something official is already available on this topic, I've decided to instead focus and transition some of that energy that I was gonna spend on creating these weekly updates and focus on something else, on some of the other videos like the DeepSeek one that you folks said was really helpful, or the one on agents that I just released a day or two ago. So I'll be focusing on those walkthroughs and deeper dive discussions while you folks can get the latest updates in audio form from the official AWS podcast, for which I'll include the link here below. So let's just briefly take a look at what the AWS podcast is and what that looks like. So if you take a look at the official podcast site, the you have right here listed the support for a variety of different platforms that allow you to listen to these podcasts. There's a little bit of introduction of the three hosts that run these podcasts. And if you scroll further down, you can filter by the episodes that they have. So they have deep dives, they have launch discussions, they have special series, and then the update shows. So if you filter for update shows, you'll find these shows that get released on bi-weekly basis that are all between 20 and 25 minutes long, where they talk about the key releases, the most notable releases that happen over the past 2 weeks. So if we take a look at the latest episode here, we can see this was released. This was released on March 10th, just about a week ago, and this is about 23 minutes long of an episode. You can also directly play it directly from within here as well if you don't have one of those aforementioned apps there. So again, rather than create something that already exists in a similar fashion, I'm going to tell you that this is there because I just learned about it. And I've been working for AWS for more than 5 years, and I had no idea this existed. So I think the odds are that you probably didn't know about it either, and I think it's going to be something interesting, something valuable to tune into periodically there. So there you have it. If this podcast in some shape or form is not quite what you folks are looking for, you can let me know, and I'd be happy to either pass that feedback along to the hosts of the podcast, or maybe if something that you folks are looking for is quite different. Again, check out that first episode I created last weekend on the what I called AWS AirDrop, where you regularly get the updates. And let me know, is that something that provides value? Is that something you like to see? Because if listening to this podcast provides a similar type of information for you folks, and that's sufficient, what the podcast does, then I'm going to instead focus on doing the walkthroughs, deep dives, demos, and what you typically can see in some of the other videos that I've created here. So there you go, a little bit of a quick update there, a new cool resource for you to check out, and I'll catch you next time.